Hello and welcome back once again to Patrol Gripply's What Am I Farming /Farming Guide for the month of September. Now this is the updated one. The update has now dropped. We do know for sure all the different changes, can look through all the store and go ahead and see all that. We've also gotten the event calendar. I always want to call it the advent calendar, but that's another thing in LEGO. So we actually know when the events are going to be happening. So we know when Woo is and when for sure the spooky update. We also know when we're getting some more time-limited quests. That's the correct name, not timed quests, time-limited quests. So we know when to actually save up our money for. Sadly, it's like a week and a half away, so I'm going to be holding on to this gold for a while without really spending it. But, oh well, it is what it is. But I'm making a couple changes this time, because I'm still going to keep this kind of focused off of who I myself am farming. Like, this is what I need, I'm going for these figs, doing this, that, whatever. I do want to make at least a bit of it covering what I recommend to farm for some of the upcoming events, at least for the master events. Unboxes, no requirements there, and brick paste is used whoever, so kind of whatever you have works. Some things work better for the last maps, but we don't really know all that kind of stuff. It's just really bring a strong team, so it's just really advice for the master events. So I'm trying to add that into here, so we'll do that. Do want to go ahead and mention right quick for the event calendar, we do have Woo is going to be back from October 9th to October 18th, so we have a good 2 to 3 weeks before he's kind of back. So if you want to work on your pirates, work on them. You have a decent bit of time, honestly. And then the spooky masters from October 30th to November 8th. So I mean, that was probably going to be around then anyways. So you have a lot more time for that to work on your space figs. No news on when the actual raid boss or the raid update is dropping, so when you might be able to get that space fig. But we don't really know too much about raids, so I can't give any advice for what to farm for them. It's just, I guess, your strongest figs, get them stronger. I honestly don't know enough about raids with how they want to have it set up to really give much advice about those. But moving on, I'm going to show off an update, because we do actually have the gear increase, which I do actually have some of them kind of upgraded. Well, I guess it's technically not fully to the next level yet, but I have some pieces of gear equipped to them. There's different amounts of gear, some of it's kind of good, some of it isn't. Go-Go's got lots of extra defense, which I thought was very interesting. Because we didn't have any to begin with. Ooh, it actually brought me back. Oh, that is a nice new feature. Not only does it bring you back to your filter, it also brings you back to where they were. Really cool. But as you see, there's lots of new stuff here. Have increased lots of them since last time I recorded, which I think was Sunday, and I'm recording this on Thursday, so I'm really kind of shocked by that. Here's kind of where I am now. Of course, I do have Clockwork Robot unlocked ever since then, and we do have a couple more figs down here. We have Spaceman Gens, we have Blacktron Quincy, to let you kind of see them. So I'm still kind of working on some stuff, but my space is coming along much better than it was last video. Finally have enough tiles to start up Kelvin, enough tiles to start up Reed, working on Locust and Dwayne from the Monolith Waste right now. We do actually have enough for Commander Cole, and I think I'm going to pause it there. I think I'm going to be working on some gear increases for some of my figs, at least for my arena team. Probably on Pirates for their upcoming Woo event, and then after that I'll work on some more stuff with Space, but then we'll try to get all of them besides Cole to 6 stars, and then kind of freeze for a bit there. I would go ahead and level some of these up, but we do have a timed limited quest for spend gold. It is from the 28th to the 4th of October, so that's kind of out there a bit, but I mean, I have lots of gold, but I'm just going to hold on to it until then, level up some things, maybe even spend some more. And we do have a couple more of those. There's also one from the 12th to 18th in October, and another one from October 26th to November 1st to spend some more gold. I might do some more stuff then, but we kind of, in a way, don't have any till really October, which I was kind of surprised about, but I'm going to hold on to my gold until we get to that point, because I feel like they're going to have some good rewards, because our current time quest is really good. Willow tiles, I mean, it's just 3 willow tiles, but I mean, willow tiles, that's like 3 tiles of that's like a month's worth plus of master tiles right now for me. Okay, so I'm still kind of working on them. I'm getting them on up there. Castle, still just kind of the same thing. Just really working on their gear right now. Pirates, working on their gear as well. We'll need some of that. Valiant is one tile away from being 6 stars. I got 15 tiles from him from a bag that really sped up the farm a bit. But he was just, I think, 4 tiles away when Peg Leg's event came back around, and there was no way I could get extra tiles to get Valiant up in time. So I fortunately missed out of 1 week of extra stuff from Peg Leg's event. But they're coming along nicely. City's still basically the same thing as before. Do have like some extra tiles for some of them. We'll be working on bringing them up as time goes on. Ninjago, not much has really changed here. I got a couple extra towels for like Neo, somebody. And collectibles is still, I mean, it's not too much of a reason. I do have some more Spooky Girl towels because I've started farming her from the stores, but that's kind of it. That's really where I am with that. Oh, and I did go ahead and complete Forbidden Island. I was hoping that would get me some stuff, but I didn't have the actual set tiles to do anything at the time. Oh, not set tiles, set tools to actually make it stronger for that last note of Peg Leg. I thought maybe with some extra gear some of the people might get through it. No, it just wasn't happening. But here is where I kind of am with the set still. So just kind of working on getting some of the Expedition sets up. Oh, this has actually officially got added here. I hadn't really looked at the space stuff. Looking forward to actually building this up at some point. That will be fun. But so we got that, and then still just kind of why I'm here. Bought some more Dojo Showdown tiles, but that's kind of it. But for my advice for the upcoming events, you will want your pirates pretty strong. If you want Woo, and I think you really necessarily need to get Woo. I'm not like that interested in Ninjago, so like not getting Woo is not too detrimental to me. Like I won't be that upset if I don't get Woo. Especially with having like super worked on my pirate phase, as I say with this pretty stacked upper row up here. But like it's not one that I super have to have, but I would like to get it for the completionist's sake. So I would recommend working on some of them. You'll probably want Redbeard, Cookbot, Darwin, Argenta, and Valiant. I would say Scarlet, but I don't know if where you are, if you can get enough towels for her by then, because she is an arena store farm now. I'm not really touching her. Well, of course I'm finishing getting Valiant up there, but like if she won't be usable for me for this event, so I'm not like bothering with her right now. But if you are somewhere, like maybe you'd buy a couple bags for her. If you had like a 4-star one, you might could get to 5-star. It really depends on what your arena currency income is per day. Although we do get an extra 18 now, I think, for winning a battle, so it does add some extra currency there to speed it along a bit, but it doesn't do too much. But that's really on you. I might talk a little bit more about this when I go through the store, but it really depends on where you are with Scarlet versus Valiant and what your goals are for Pirates. Right now, my goal for Pirates is at least for Node 6 of Peg Leg. I would like to maybe even get to Node 7, but like it's going to take a long time to get Valiant up there. And I still have to bring Bart, Darwin, and Argenta up, so like that's going to take a good solid while, so I'm kind of putting that on the back burner, because that's going to be a much in the future sort of farm. But that's kind of my goal, more so that than getting Woo, or using them for arena, or whatever. So I don't really need Scarlet personally or want Scarlet, so I'm focusing on Valiant. But if you want to maybe use her in, or use this team in Arena, I would probably recommend farming Scarlet, although I think it's also kind of terrible because Valiant and Scarlet both work very well on Pirates. I mean, I think they do really good if you have both of them on the team. I find that a lot more annoying, but I mean, I'm using Castle, so don't really take my recommendation for too much with Arena. But yeah, I think they're both pretty good with each other. But they're like mutually exclusive farms, I guess you'd say. Like, you can't farm Valiant and Scarlet at the same time, really. I mean, I guess you could buy one tile for him, one tile for her, and back and forth. That just really slows you down, because you can't farm her from another store while farming him. It's one or the other, really. So it's kind of a downside there. But Scarlet, I do think is probably the better investment. So if you really want to do something crazy for Pirates, I recommend her. But that's kind of my overall recommendation. I mean, Redbeard's just to play the game, complete your dailies, you get tiles for him. If you don't have him at 7 stars, I mean, we might can get him if you have him at 6 stars. Just basing your star level for Redbeard after how long you've played, if you don't have him to 6 stars, you probably haven't played long enough to get your stuff strong enough to be able to beat it. Maybe you weld on some stuff, but you have some other stacked pirates, and that might work. But really, this kind of to me is kind of like a judge of how long you've played. So if you don't have that, you might not be good. Cook Bot's really needed. He's like a main source of heals. I mean, I guess he does a little bit of healing. He can do some healing too, but like, I think you want to use his stuff more for clears, for the cleanse on the actual event. So when like Wu tries to disarm everybody, try to cleanse that. Darwin, for being a basic tier unit, he's pretty good on pirate team and has some like good crit stuff and some dodges. He can be pretty good. Never dodges as much on my team as he does with the enemy team, but that's what it is. LeQuay, probably don't want to be really using him. I mean, you might could swap out Darwin for LeQuay if you're using him, but you probably use it for Forbidden Island. He gets more buffs, so I would say use him over him, but I just happen to have lots of tiles for him, so I have him kind of up here. Jinta, good, highly recommend farming her. She's cheap and expensive, and I believe Triptown United you have a like 14 energy cost, no, I believe, and one that's a little bit higher. We can actually check that. Yeah, 14 energy and 20 energy. I'd recommend at least farming this one, and maybe we can do some refreshes on it. Although you might can do this one, I don't know. It gives you some gear that might be useful. Yeah. But she's a good solid damage dealer. Castaway, I like him. I don't like the store he's in. He doesn't count. She doesn't count. Though she is getting rerun, but she's getting rerun after the Woo event. So I'm not sure about that. That is interesting, but I don't know. Maybe you can use him for next time. Was kind of surprised to see that, but maybe they're adding non-such to that, and they're going to do like a 3-part brick pace again. Oh boy, everybody loves those. That's kind of my recommendations for pirates, is just work on your Redbeard, your Bot, your Darwin, your Argenta, and your Valiant. Maybe Scarlet if you have her where you can work on her. And I guess if Castaway's kind of how you could work on him, he is like an okay damage dealer. I think he might be better than Argenta, but he is in the Expedition store, so he's not that great of a farm, personally. I don't think he adds enough to be worth that type of currency. I'm waiting until he gets added to another store, or just becomes regularly farmable. And let's see, moving on to space. Still just work on your free-to-play farms. You might be able to get Quincy. Well, you will likely be able to get Quincy from the brick pace. Unlikely unless you spend to get him to 5 stars to be usable for the actual upcoming Spooky Master event. I probably wouldn't really expect to be able to use him, but he might be useful to have with Dwayne. But I think he'd be most useful to have if you also get the set, but good luck getting that set to 5 stars, as well as Black Chun Quincy, unless you really want to spend money. Jins is a 10 tile unlock now, which is interesting, but makes me wonder how much you actually get for him from the raid event. Maybe you get him basically guaranteed to be unlocked, but have to do lots of other stuff to get him up higher. Don't know. Very curious about that, but there is one change here. I was curious to see if it was going to be like a 5-star unlock, like a master event fig. Go well. I mean, unless you want to spend on bags, but we do get free bags now, at least for 3 days or 4 days, or with the free trial. But if you pay for the booster pass, maybe you get lucky and get some of her. Same thing with Toski. I'm still farming him from the master store, but I mean, yeah, it's just I'm not really expecting to be able to use any of these lower tier figs here. Well, not lower tier, but just this on the lower ranking from these. But these are your 5 free-to-play options, and these are probably what the majority of people are going to be using, so I recommend focusing on them and trying to get them up there as high as possible by the event so you can actually beat it, because I don't think these free-to-play options are going to be that usable for it. I even work on bringing some of these up to 7 stars, I don't know, some of them are a little bit quicker farms, maybe at least bring Reed and Kelvin up. But I am putting Cold on pause, at least for myself. He's very expensive. But maybe we'll know a little bit more about it next month. They tell us a little bit more about what the actual event's going to be like. But yeah, just work on your top 5 free-to-play options here, because that's probably what you're going to be using. As for my current farms here, let's go to Monolith first. I don't really have too much right now. Right now, it's just a Locust. And then let's go down here, farm Dwayne. And then from there, I'm thinking about maybe just going around farming some Kelvin and some Reed, because they're kind of cheap. I may also go up here just for the heck of it and farm some Zombie, because I like Zombie. Or I might start working on Trader Transport to maybe have that up at some point to use for something. Or get Ice Glider on up to 5 stars. Might be a good idea to go ahead and start working on that. And I probably will go ahead and do that one, thinking about it. But yeah, it's just right now I think I'm still going to work on farming some of the space figs from here. At least get everybody up to 6 stars and see what I want to do from there. I might just work on some more random figs, but that's kind of where I am. There's not too much useful here for the upcoming Woo event, unless you really want to use the Quay or need a set to 5 stars. But I've got both of the pirate sets from here to 5 stars, so I don't really need to do too much more here. For my dailies right now, I don't have anything I'm set farming. I might do some Go-Go because he's very close to being up there. Work on him for a while and just bring him on up to 6 stars. But for right now, I'm just going to be working on gear probably for the rest of the month for everybody, because we do have that gear cap increase. So there is some more gear pieces. Also, I think it is interesting, at least from the few I've looked at, the highest level one is I think level 55, because they're actually fairly cheap with what they require. That one's 54, 52. That one can be done. 51 can be done. I mean, there's lots of gear you go ahead and do once you get to level 50. So I was actually kind of surprised by that, because I thought I'd have to wait a little while to go ahead and level up. But you can go ahead and start working on lots of gear for people. So I just recommend doing that for your current arena team, and for some of these upcoming events, let's get them a little bit stronger. That is, unless you need tiles, then definitely go work on farming tiles. But for me, I'm going to be working on gear, and I guess also upgrading some other passives and other things for some people. But that's really where I am for the regular store, or the regular campaign is doing that. And I guess I'll probably do the Go-Go one, at least do the I think it's farm 3 hard nodes every day or something. I'm at least do that and get him up there. But afterwards, it's just going to be getting gear for people, leveling them up, gearing them up, because that stuff is going to take a little bit longer. I've been farming some dynamite for 2 days, and I still don't have the 4 pieces needed. So yeah, that stuff is slow. But let's go ahead and go on over to the shop. Nothing really new here besides the Clockwork bundle. Oh, and of course, you do actually have the booster pass up here, which I actually think is a good value, since people say they think $10 for 2 weeks is too much. But I was expecting maybe $20-$30 for 2 weeks, so I guess it's good for me. I don't know, I do think that is interesting, but I mean, you get lots of extra stuff a day. I like the extra gems a day, and I like the one premium bag opening a day. Speaking of which, what am I doing with my gems? Well, I'm no longer saving up for the premium 5 bag bundle. I'm saving up for the premium 10 bag bundle. Oh yeah, 3,200 crystals for 10 bags. Hope to get some gold well or something. But these extra, what was that, an extra 400 gems a day is really helping. I'm sorry, an extra 100 gems a day. But it still feels very useful. I'm missing a whole lot of extra gem income, it feels like. But that's what I'm doing with my gems. I mean, just none of the upcoming events super interest me. Full clarification, we do have for upcoming events. We have, of course, the Clockwork Robot running right now. It's unboxed and it's collectible. Really don't feel like that's worth spending on. Quincy could be useful if you really like him. Blacktron's a little meh to me. Like, I mean, I do kind of like them, but like, there's not something I really need to be running. And they also have a set coming with that, so it's going to be lots more expensive to get them usable. And I want to maybe get them most usable for the upcoming Master event, and to actually get them to 5 stars to be able to use them doesn't seem very likely. We do have on the 5th, we're getting the Mind Games rerun with DigiJ. Those people really might be looking forward to that, as that is, at least previously had tier 3 set tools on it in the store, and I'll probably buy those when the event happens. Hopefully we'll be able to make it through all of the event this time and be able to just farm some tiles for DigiJ, maybe get him on up there a little bit higher. Be super cool to get him to 5 stars. Don't really plan on it, but I do plan on actually buying a whole bunch of tier 3 set tools from that event to be able to use and spend some different places. We're also getting, of course, Master Wu from the October 9th, and then October 16th being Alumni Day, which was the Basil the Bat Lord brick pace. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. Maybe get him up a little bit higher. Maybe work with some of my other castle figs, because I think you had like all of the castle figs in that store besides Willa. And I guess also York, but I'm really kind of excited for that. But like, none of those are anything I want to spend gems on. And then you also get the Tyranny of Justice event, which had Lay and the Governor. That's from October 27th. But none of that to me is anything I want to save gems for to spend on. So I mean, myself, I'm buying except from the bags. The Expedition has some interesting changes here. I really thought they were going to dump Demolition Dummy for Castaway. Really surprised he's still here. I guess if you really want him, and maybe he's like better than I think he is. But like, I have other stuff. I really don't see spending this on him. I really want to get Hank. He's a fig I actually own in real life, and I really do like him in this game. He is not worth 600 currency of this. I know some people also select by the tier 3 set tools from this. I don't really do that just because I want to get actually set up for Ninjago whenever we get a master event that requires them. That's going to be really hard to get a set ready for, so I'm currently spending all of my Big Expedition currency on Dojo tiles still. The set seems pretty good. Ninjago can get pretty strong, and it's just, if you really want to set, I think you really need to kind of do it this way. Mashup, I'm still spending it on Verda. There's like really no changes here, because when I read something about them adding in the Lego house to this store, but it was actually Guild store, which we'll get to that in a second. But I'm buying her, get her to up to maximum level. Then might even bring up Bart a little bit more. I mean, I might even work on him now. But she's my arena team. She's like my main attacker there, so I think I'm just going to work on her. I could probably bring him on up and get him to a higher star level. Now I'm even talking myself maybe into doing it. Sure, let's go ahead and buy some of those tiles. Maybe we can bring him up to 7 stars by the Woo event. I don't know, but it's just kind of like, there's not much of a reason to prioritize lots of these. I mean, I guess arena, I'm using her in arena, and he would be for Woo, but it's just like, there's such a high level here that's just kind of spend it on somebody. I guess I will get this one to 7 stars first. But that's just kind of my thing. Are you using some castle stuff? Are you using some pirates? And like, this actually is probably a good spin for the upcoming Woo rerun, because I mean, you have to use pirates, and this is a pretty free way to get some Crookbot tiles, so solid investment there. A guild, I've moved my guild farm over to Spooky Girl. Would love to get the Lego house up. It's not worth 900 guild currency. I'm sorry, the set looks kind of fun to use with certain like situations, but it's just not going to have my guild currency. I got her to 5 stars. She's not too great, so I'm just going to leave her here for right now. And we'll actually farm some Spooky Girl tiles, because I actually like Spooky Girl. I think she's pretty useful, has an interesting niche. And now you can actually work on getting her up there for a little bit cheaper. Yeah, it's still guild currency, but hey, better than it was before for 150 tiles, or 300 tiles, or gems for 3 tiles, something like that. Ooh, expensive. But I mean, I might be able at some point in like 2 years' time be able to get a spooky team up and running, so it'd be nice to actually have her for that. Still say no unless you really need to have 7-star space for the spooky event, but we'll know more about that later. So, I mean, maybe if you get desperate, but I still don't recommend spending on her. Him, no, and Zombie, he's now farmable, so definitely not him. Arena store, this is what I was saying, you have Scarlet and Valiant in the same store. Kind of really stupid in my opinion. Was really hoping, and it's just, somebody said, I think that's just what they wanted, but had him maybe moved to a different store, or have him be moved to a farmable node. That would have been super dope, and maybe next update they'll do that, but it's really weird. I have her at 0 out of 35 tiles, so it'll take her a long time being farmed to be able to get anywhere near usable for my level of play on here. So I'm farming Valiant, and then I will be going over to farm Lloyd, get him up there to 5 star, so I can have a like 4 or 5 star Ninjago team ready at some point. Maybe I'll use him a little bit in bricks. And then that's over getting Brutus to the next star level. And I might even do that first. I don't know. I would really like to have him, because I do actually use him in Arena. So it's split between these two, what I'm going to do next. And I think he's actually winning out, because I would really like to get him up a little bit higher for Arena. But yeah, that's kind of where it is here. Master Store, I'm still farming Catastrophe tiles. You see I actually have 1 Willow tile now from that new event, which let me actually point that out. They did say in the update there are some time-limited quests that are not going to be on the calendar, because there'll be surprise quests. Don't know what those exactly are, because of the quests they do actually have listed. They have listed spin energy, spin gold, spin mashup energy, and then it's spin gold, spin energy, spin gold. Brickspedition Heroes is definitely a new one, probably more so for the unboxed event, but I do kind of like this. Basically, you have to use him 20 times in Brickspedition. It doesn't matter if he lives or not, and it can be a shared hero. If you want to be nice in your guild, I might recommend for the length of this quest sharing him, so that your teammates or your guildmates can use your clockwork robot, so they keep their regular core team together. If he dies, oh well, they still get a tick here. So I used him 10 times, which was really nice, but I have to get him on up there to 20. But I mean, this is not bad. You get a little bit of gold, some relics, 10 tier 2 or tier 3 set tools, really nice. I like that it's not tier 4 for a little bit, a couple medkits, and you got 3 willow tiles, which is a really kind of hard farm. So that was really generous of them. Hope they do more stuff like this. But that's kind of where I am right now. Is it just going to be going to getting gear up for some figs, doing kind of the basic stuff to complete the daily challenges, the daily quests, so I can get some more red beard tiles, gems. I'm probably going to get the booster pass at least for a 2-week period once that drops, at least for the very beginning. They do like that. Still farming some more space figs up there. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach them all to 6 stars. Might continue working on some more of them. Like I said, Arctic Ice Glider, probably going to at least go ahead and bring that on up to 5 stars, so I can have that ready for any type of master event that might need them. So I want to be doing panic farms on that. I really do like not having to panic farm. It makes things feel like it goes a whole lot quicker if you're not really waiting on it. But that's really where I am with this. The guild, I would say join, but we have 1 spot open right now, Classic Community Alliance. If you want a guild, feel free to join this if it's a slot that's open. We do have a Discord, which, if I remember correctly, I will try to link that in the description for this video. Feel free to join the guild's Discord, even if you're not part of the guild. Discord is open to everybody, as long as you don't just be like a jerk and spam and all that kind of stuff. If you're just a reasonable person, you can stay there, even if you don't get into the guild, because it's like full. But yeah, that's really it. I was kind of hoping there'd be a little bit more to update for this video, but there was not really that many changes that I thought would have happened. But I did advance a little bit further, and I do have some new goals now. So I hope this has been interesting for you. Feel free to tell me what your farms are down below. I would love to hear what everybody else is farming, because I know everybody has their own farms depending on what position you are in. You might already have full 7-star pirates and or space, so while you farming, I mean, imagine lots of people probably farming some gear stuff, because I mean there's something else to do now. But I would love to hear what everybody else is doing. That's kind of the purpose of this video. So I hope you've all enjoyed and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.